It's been a minute since I did a video, 2 months, right? So this video is going to be interesting because it's going to sound funny. It's going to sound funny. You guys are going to be like, dang, you trolling. This video is what I think they're going to do to Lily in the patch. Now, if you guys remember, Lily got one of the most useless buffs I've ever seen in this game back in December. So basically, if you don't, I'll refresh your memory. It's something that I even forget she has because it's so useless. Basically, when you have a win stock, if you can get the second hit of light DP to hit, you can do like sweep, level 1, mid screen, sometimes even crouch heavy punch. But they have to be standing, and you have to have a win stock, and you have to get the second hit of light DP to work. So you understand like why that is so bad, right? It feels like one of those things where they didn't want to buff her, so they were just like, all right, well, we just do this because it's something. Like, we got to give her, everybody's getting buffed, we got to give her something. Most useless buff I've ever seen. One of the most useless buffs I've ever seen in this game. Definitely for her. So now I'm making a video that's going to seem like a parody, and I'm going to give you my predictions on Lily changes in Season 3, okay? So first of all, what I think they'll do, let me just start with a punish counter. I think they'll probably make it where this either spins in the air or crumples, and then you can't get a combo off of it. So they spin, you know, like how Ken does stand roundhouse, and they spin in the air. It'll be the same thing, except you can't combo. So you can probably do like 2 win stocks or dash into the corner, right? Something very useless. You know, I'm trying to think of the most useless Lily buffs they're gonna give her. They're probably gonna make this have slightly more range. So, you know, right here it can't hit. You know, right here, you know, maybe they'll make it where this right here can get a little tiny pixel bit more range. You know, and it can hit. That'll probably be something they do. You know, they'll probably reduce the startup of this by 1 frame. You see how it says 47 total? Probably 46 total. You know, what else could they do? They'll make this 17 frames instead of 18 frames. You know, a little slightly faster. Just it's so funny because it sounds like I'm kidding, but these patches have been so bad for Lily since the game has dropped. They basically have given her nothing to make her a better character. So it's been like at least 3 patches where Lily's gotten changed. You know, she wasn't grayed out, where they just gave her like pretty much nothing that matters. The biggest buff she's gotten is like level 1 being faster. You know, something that helps sometimes is like, you know, you get 4 heavy punch as a juggle point meterlessly. You don't have to drive rush. Cool. You know, she's gotten like very slight stuff. Pretty much the same character since you could have been cryogenically frozen, unthawed, and you could have not really been able to tell Lily's changed. And it's just clear to me that she'll probably never be good. And I would love to be wrong. I really would. I would love to be wrong about that. The thing that sucks though is I think Capcom has made characters that will probably never be good. In which case, I just don't understand it personally from a consumer standpoint. Like, why make a character that will never be good? That's what it feels like with Lily. How many patches does it? Like, I realized that. I stopped believing that there was a chance. I'm just honestly really, like, at this point when the Season 3 patch drops, it's got to be between this month and next month because CPT starts in May, early May. So I'm thinking like, man, what I'm looking forward to is like what they'll do to the system. Are they gonna make the most useless mechanic in the game, which is drive reversal? If you didn't know, are they gonna make that faster finally? Because making it -6 didn't do anything. It helps, yeah, but that wasn't the problem, right? The issue was it was just too slow. If you make the startup faster, that will help out a lot. Obviously, that will make it where you can drive reversal, Geef's headbutt, can't make crouch heavy punch, whatever. But whatever, like there's 3 bars I'm losing off of that. You know, Geef headbutt me, I lose a bar, whatever. Like, you know, he got plus lights, they'll be all right. You know, Cammy is whatever. Like, that character's super cheap still. Well, they make drive reversal punish counter state because if you guys don't know this, one thing that a lot of people do, including me, is when you parry, right? If I were to get grabbed, I am punish counter state. So what people do, including me, is we'll parry drive rush, and we know we're gonna get grabbed, but instead of taking the 20%, we'll take just a normal damage, a normal 12 or however many, 13%, whatever. So that's ignoring the actual mechanic of the game. And I don't know if Capcom has plans to change that, but I honestly think that's a huge flaw in that. And to me, that's what makes me think it's pretty obvious that drive rush is going to be punish counter state in the next patch. So the only other thing I can think of outside of drive reversal, punish counter, people want parry nerf somehow. I don't really know what exactly they'll do. They nerfed parry like 3 times in the last patch. They nerfed it where the first nerf is as more recovery. You know, when you parry, your throw her box is expanded, and then the last nerf is that, you know, the drive meter is scaled. So instead of perfect parry back throw taking a whole bar, now it takes half a bar. You see? So it's half of whatever instead of the whole thing. So they'll probably do it again. I'm not saying it's perfect. Maybe it does need to be nerfed again. Maybe they will nerf it somehow. You just got to be careful because zoners get stronger when you do that. Like JP got a little bit stronger when they nerfed Parry. Like the Feint Ghost, walk up grab has more time to grab you now, right? Certain things got to be a little careful about, but I'm sure they'll figure something out. And then obviously the biggest one that you all were waiting for. I mean, you're probably surprised I didn't say this one first. Just the biggest change, throw loops, right? We all know throw loops are garbage. Truth be told, the only throw loops I like, and it's clearly gonna sound biased. There's nothing I can do about this. It's throw loops with command throws, because even though some people don't like that, and I understand it, right? The RPS, it's super risky for me to throw. Like in Street Fighter V, for example, I was brimstoning people twice with Mika, 3 times even, sometimes more. But just for 12%, if they jumped one time, you know, easy 40 gone, easy 30, 40 gone, maybe even more depending on who the character was and what resources they had. So throw loops I only like them when it's command throw because they have a huge risk, huge risk. In this game, they got rid of them for command throws, but the damage is higher. But they have regular throw loops that have basically a super low risk. It's the most boring thing to watch. I've seen so many spectators that don't even play this game or casuals. Anybody knows that is super boring to watch, and that's actually really not fun to watch. And eventually, it's gonna really kill the viewership a bit if they don't do something about it, because people are complaining nonstop, and it's a valid complaint too. I've even seen some pretty bad takes where it's like just play a different game. But, you know, of course, people who say that usually don't play this game at all. So it's easy to say play a different game when you don't even play the game. But, you know, I'm not even going to give those people the time of day. I just think it's funny. It's going to be funny when they actually do eventually get rid of it. And I look back and just laugh like, oh, play a different game, huh? Because those people also don't realize that, they might not realize that they got rid of it in 5. And you might argue, well, this game has Parry. Well, they also nerfed Parry. Also, Chun-Li and Honda don't have throw loops. And Chun-Li's one of the better characters in the game. I don't think she's top 5, but she's pretty good without throw loops. So what are they going to say? Oh, her walk speed's good? It's always something, right? You can get rid of throw loops and keep pseudo throw loops in. But that's pretty much, like, originally this was just going to be what buffs would they give Lily. It's hard to think of, like, useless buffs, but Capcom always finds a way, right? What I named, I think, is pretty good useless buffs. Let me know if there was, like, any other useless buffs you would have added in for Lily in the next patch, because you know they're going to do that. Highly, I would love to be wrong, and they don't give her, they actually give her good buffs, but I just know that they won't. They have this agenda, it feels like, where they just want certain characters to not be good. That's why you've never seen Lily, Jamie, and Honda. Those only 3 characters you have never seen in Capcom Cup. Because they just, it seems they don't want them to be good. Just saying, I don't know why you would create a character where you just don't want them to be good. You gotta take chances with these characters. You gotta take chances with these, even make a playable, like, test build, alright? Where you do things like, you try changes out in there, and I get feedback. You look, get feedback, and if people ain't rocking with it, all right, cool. Like, we won't do it, or okay, maybe this is a little too strong. We tone it down a little bit, instead of just like kind of keeping it in house and then guessing that people may or may not like it. But that's the end of this video, chat. I said chat. You know, everybody that's watching. My Twitch stuff came out a little bit. Speaking of which, you can follow me on Twitch, ElChakotay, you know, the usual, all right? That wasn't a plug or nothing like that. I just messed up. But yeah, I appreciate the views and likes and all this. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.